How do I advertise on Pinterest when I'm just getting started and do it in a way that's more affordable than getting started with Facebook ads? This is a really great question that I got, and I'm gonna read it from Laura. Can you do a video on how to use ads when you don't have a huge budget to spend? I just want to test them, but I don't know where to start. I think traffic ads according to your video a few months ago. Today's video, if you're interested in advertising on Pinterest and you wanna do it in a way that's more affordable, but not like you don't have to have a huge budget. In fact, I have been running some Pinterest search ads, and I'm going to show you my overall results, which it's not huge, but I'm gonna walk you through a low budget ad strategy today. What are Pinterest search ads? I have been raving about Pinterest search ads since the algorithm shift and since the beginning of the consideration budget optimization that was implemented in February of 2021. Once that algorithm shift happened within the traffic campaigns, they're formerly known as traffic, they're now known as consideration. Once that happened and that algorithm really shifted and started to settle, I started to notice a really big uptick in ROAS and overall performance on my clients' campaigns that were where we were running keyword campaigns. So not only with conversion, but also with consideration keyword campaigns. So what I did is I started testing across those campaigns, across this whole theory of just running a search ad where you're just targeting keywords and you don't have a placement that's considered browse. So within your Pinterest ads, you have a consideration and a conversion campaign option. That's where most people are gonna run ads at. So if you're a beginner and you're really getting started and you wanna test it out and just test the waters with a small budget, this is a really good place to start. And I'm gonna walk you through that whole process as we get further into this video. So what are Pinterest search ads? They are literally a consideration campaign with a search only placement, and you're just targeting keywords. You can run multiple different objectives. There's video, brand awareness, consideration, conversion, and catalog sales. So those are the different kinds of objectives you can run within your Pinterest ads. In this video, we're just focusing on consideration campaigns with a search only placement. What is your objective for running ads? Now, in most cases, if you're just testing out Pinterest ads, you may want to test out running traffic to a shop page, and you may also just want to test out running traffic to blog posts or digital product funnels. So that's what I actually did in the example, the case study for this video, is I ran traffic to a freebie, and then eventually I actually added on a top of funnel to see if I could get some more conversions, and it didn't go as well. So that is what your personal objective could be, is to just test out the data and see where your audience is, or you could be looking for signups or conversions in your shop or on your website. So really your objective is very personal, and that's gonna be something that you set yourself. In this video, in my instance, my objective was to get signups and sales to cover the ad spend, and then get people deeper into my funnel and eventually get them to buy my Pinterest course. What are the benefits of a consideration campaign? Well, the benefits of a consideration campaign are your build per click. So these are pay-per-click campaigns, much like your Google ad campaigns, where you only pay when someone clicks on your ad. They can see it all day long, but if they don't actually click on it, you're not getting billed. Now your build on pin clicks, so if they even close up on it but they don't actually click through, that's when the bill actually happens. That's when they charge you. So it's really important for you to drive that traffic on all the way through and have a really strong call to action. Now, all of that aside, there are some really good pros to Pinterest search ads, one of which being they are historically cheaper. Not only are they cheaper, but it's an older algorithm. When they released Pinterest ads, they just released them in traffic, and that was the very first iteration of ads on Pinterest. Not only is the algorithm more mature, but you can also learn a lot more about your audience or your potential audience while spending a lot less money, which is definitely something I'm down with. One benefit to running a consideration campaign over a conversion campaign, especially in the beginning, is you can get to know your audience and who they are and what they want and what they're willing to click on and things like that, as well as figuring out, like installing Hotjar or something on your website, a heat map of sorts to figure out if your pages are converting. Doing that in traffic and then flipping that over and using those metrics in a conversion campaign, I've also found that to be really effective later on. Now, that's more of a advanced level strategy, taking what you know from consideration and putting it into conversion. Another really good pro about consideration campaigns is you can familiarize yourself with the dashboard, how the algorithm works, all the metrics, and not be spending a ton of money and have to worry about hiring help in the beginning or even trying to get a hold of somebody at Pinterest and possibly just getting bad advice. Last pro for consideration campaigns are they're billed with the campaign level and not the ad group level anymore. So that means you can put multiple ad groups within your one campaign and test out your budget across all ad groups to figure out which one is the winning campaign or the winning ad group. Now, I recently did this in a client account. She was getting a lot of really good conversions on her ads prior to like the end of the year, like even in the beginning of the year, she was getting good conversions. And then something happened and all of her ads got shut off and she wanted to restart. So what we did is we actually restarted with her budget on a consideration campaign with 5 ad groups. So the campaign actually spread that money across all the ad groups, and we were able to really quickly figure out which ad group was the winning ad group and put all of our budget towards that one. And now we're actually seeing a 2.25 ROAS, I think, as of like Friday. So that could have changed over the weekend, but nonetheless, I'm pretty happy with those results. And that all happened within about 30 days of actually turning those ads on. We actually started to see that pick up. So that's actually a really great benefit to consideration ads. So let's just really quick run through what a conversion campaign is and why they're so different, because I think it's just really important for you to know what they are and why they are different when it comes to running campaigns, just so you don't make the mistake of choosing the conversion campaign if you're not ready. So a conversion campaign is billed per 1,000 impressions or by milli. I hate that word. They bill you per 1,000 impressions. So if someone sees your ad but they never actually click on it, you're still gonna get billed. And that's why conversion campaigns and optimizing those campaigns with events is more of a 2-on-1 strategy when you're very new. Like, it's not something I would suggest a newbie just starting out on Pinterest ads to start with. What sort of expectations should I have when launching a promoted pin campaign? Expectations are going to be different for every advertiser, and rightfully so, because everyone has a different product, different audience, different budget to spend, different funnels. It's literally all so personalized to each individual. One thing that you're going to want to do is to set your expectations in the beginning is to really figure out what your goals are for this campaign and what KPIs you need to track. So in my case, in my campaign, I wanted to track signups and tripwire sales. So actually 2 different happenings, 2 different events inside that campaign I wanted to track. You can still do this in consideration campaigns. So I made sure my sign up event codes were placed, and then I also made sure that my checkout event codes were placed in the correct locations. So know what your objective is and what your KPIs need to be. The second expectation you want to set for yourself is your campaigns could very well take 7 to 10 days to do anything. I know for me, for this particular campaign, it actually took closer to 2 weeks in order to actually start seeing results. It wasn't even until the second 2 weeks that I started seeing conversions happening and signups happening on a regular basis. Last expectation is if your campaign doesn't go well, that's okay, because you're collecting data. So what kind of keywords worked? What imagery worked? What happened on the landing page once someone hit? Did you install Hotjar, and can you see where they really left the page? Those are all things that you want to know if you're launching a promoted pin campaign for the first time. That way you know you're set up for conversions, and if you're not set up for conversions, then you need to tweak things and make sure that you get that set up. Now, I will say, when I very first started this campaign in March, I was struggling with my event codes on lead pages, and I ended up migrating the entire funnel to Elementor mid-promoted pin campaign. So I just built all of the funnels on Elementor and then flipped the switch with the URLs, and it was flawless. There was no interruption in anything that happened. And that's when I actually noticed in the second 2 weeks, the conversions started flowing in. So I actually think that my Elementor pages were built when I built them the second time They're actually built for better conversions, which was really nice. Let's bring the laptop in, and I'm actually gonna walk you through what setting up a consideration campaign looks like. Yes, I know I have done this in other videos, but I really think that it's appropriate even for this video, so you know what I'm talking about as I'm walking you through it. Very first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna start researching your keywords. This is important because this is a search-only campaign. You are gonna wanna research your keywords, and I would suggest starting with between 100 and 150. You can do more than that. I have done campaigns where I've done as much as like 300, but within that first couple of weeks, you're gonna be archiving keywords to optimize the campaign. So the less you actually have to archive and the more you can put in when you archive the keywords the first time, I think the better off you'll be, especially in the beginning. So what I would suggest doing is finding between 100 and 150 keywords to use in your search-only campaign. Now, the next thing that you're gonna do is actually research and find all of your inspiration and imagery and get your ad imagery created. So I did this just very quickly inside of Canva. I actually created them for organic and then ended up using them for the promoted pin campaign. So make sure that you're creating images and they have strong calls to action on them and they are related to the landing page. They need to be highly relevant. So I think it would probably be really helpful if I showed you my Pinterest images and I also showed you my landing pages. We're inside of my campaign now, and you will see I have 2 different images in here. How to craft your Pinterest strategy, and it's like way different than the pinkish image, which isn't even my brand color, but it's 5 steps to a Pinterest strategy in 2021, and they both go to this landing page. And you can see the imagery for the PDF on the actual images is the same, so that maps over and they know that they're in the right place. So that's really important. And then also my title is the strategy guide, so I'm telling them that they're getting a strategy guide on the pin and the landing page. And then this is just it. It's really simple. 3 boxes to sign up, and that's it. I make this like the only thing they can do when they hit this page is to sign up for my email list. Now, the next thing that you're gonna do, once you have your keywords and your imagery ready, and you have all your pixels and event codes installed correctly, you're gonna come into your dashboard, and we're actually gonna create just a really quick ad. Now, I'm gonna make sure that this tutorial is just really fast because I want to show you the breakdown of the ad results that I got. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna resume where we left off. It was a traffic campaign. I'm gonna put this one into pause because I don't really want it to run right now. And then you're gonna name your ad group whatever your targeting is. Typically, this is how I name my ad groups. And then what you're gonna do is under your targeting strategy, you're gonna select your own targeting strategy. Then that's gonna open up all of this targeting options, and you're gonna skip past audience lists, and you're gonna jump into the keywords and interests. Now, if you're like me, I turn off expanded targeting because I'm a B2B, and what I'm promoting, typically there's nothing in the image that I am going to be matched with on the platform generally. So I usually turn off expanded targeting for myself or for B2B clients. Sometimes I leave it on and I use it as a optimization method, but you're gonna toggle over here to keywords, and you're gonna add your keywords into this box. So whatever your keywords are, you can see I've been doing keyword research for clients. Let's say your keywords are office. Okay, so let's say your keywords were office related. You can come in here and add keywords from this search bar, or you can do searches on the customer, like the front end side of Pinterest in the search bar, and then plug those in here as well. Now, I do keyword research, I put it in a spreadsheet, and then I put it into here. I don't typically use this because there's not a ton of keywords that are even related to what I'm trying to target. I mean, there are social media and business keywords, so I have found those and I've put them in my spreadsheet now, so I don't have to do this again, but you can definitely use this search bar to find keywords and just add them to the campaign. Now, I always suggest starting broad and then adding in phrase and exact match as optimizations later, okay? So once you have your 100 and 150 keywords, you're going to hop into demographics. I would suggest using all genders, all ages, locations, languages, and devices in the beginning because those are optimization tools later. Skip on down to the ad placement. Now this is the most important part. outside of your keywords and your imagery, obviously, you're gonna make sure that this is selected for search. You wanna make sure you're set up for a search only placement. Otherwise, you're also gonna be in browse, which is fine. But in this case, our whole strategy is to only have a search campaign. Your budget is billed at the campaign level, so you won't make any changes here. You're gonna leave your optimization and delivery on automatic because automatic bidding is the boss. Then you're gonna select your images. So I already have a couple of images selected in here, but you would select your images inside of here. Once you've selected them, shrink down this tab and open up Review Your Pins, and you'll see your images are in here. Make sure the URL is correct. You can name your ad if you would like to have it named. Maybe it's pink and you also have a blue version, whatever makes sense for you. And then you're gonna click the launch button, and then you're gonna be brought to this screen here. And now we're gonna get into my campaign and how well it did, and I'm gonna release you out into the world. So I ran this campaign from March 1st to March 31st. I ran it for a full month. My budget per day was $5 on automatic bidding, and I was running my leads to this page right here for signups because I wanted to grow my email list. So what I did is I turned it on, and you can see that it really just died off right here around March 17th. And that's right around the time that I switched my pages to Elementor. So this is where I noticed just the campaign just almost died. And I wasn't tracking leads correctly in the dashboard, so I knew something was wrong. And that's when I went in and put it into Elementor, and I pulled them off lead pages. And you can see here, it picked back up again. All right, so taking a look at the overall campaign, I only have one ad group in here, so we can just look at the campaign level. My daily spend limit at the end of March 31st was $8.66 a day. I've been incrementally increasing my ads. I spent $96. My ad was seen on average 1.22 times. 22,000 people saw my ad. I paid $4.32 to reach this audience, which is a bit expensive, to be quite honest. I try to stay between $2 to $4, so being right at $4, I'm not too picky. I had 370 pin clicks. That means somebody actually clicked on the pin and saw it bigger, but they didn't, doesn't necessarily mean they clicked through. My click-through rate was 1.64%, which was really good. I paid 26 cents per click to the site, or I guess on the pin clicks. I'm getting to the site. 104 saves, 176 outbound clicks, which means 176 people actually landed on my sales page or my landing page. And I had 5 checkouts at 1.9x ROAS, giving me $182 in sales, which is I'm more than happy with. And my signups are not correct. See, they're wrong in here. So there's no way I could have had 5 checkouts and only 1 sign up, because the only way they could have gotten to that checkout page was through my lead page, right? Through not the lead pages page, but the page where they sign up, this page right here. So that's where I was saying my tracking was wrong, and I'm glad that it's wrong because I can show you that it's wrong, and I can stress to you to make sure it's set up correctly. Even I do this wrong, but in my instance, it was wrong because lead pages wasn't properly firing my pixels correctly and my event codes. So once I got that fixed, I actually noticed the sales start coming in. And I actually did get $182 in sales. I can verify that and match those sales to my Stripe. And I can also see in my ConvertKit form that I got these leads from Pinterest. You can see where they came from. And this was a brand new form that I created. So I know for a fact that those leads actually did come from Pinterest because this form was anywhere else in the world. I literally just created the form for this ad. And when I built this lead page, I put the new form in. That way I could have accurate testing and data. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with my results. And I can't beat $182 in sales I wasn't expecting. Obviously, I had $96 in ad spend as well. And I had a little bit more in ad spend because I did a top of funnel ad. But I only ran it for a couple of days to see what would happen. And it just really didn't do anything. If you want to know more about running Pinterest ads in general or optimizing them, all of the above, click on over to our playlist all about promoted pins. I have a full playlist that will walk you through all of the promoted pin type things that you want to learn. If there is anything related to promoted pins that you would like to learn that you don't see on the channel, make sure you drop a comment down below. And I'm gonna just drop a really quick sneak peek nugget. I've decided to launch something super affordable for not only you here on YouTube, but my audience in general. I have quite a growing audience on Clubhouse as well. And I've decided to launch something. I'm not going to say what just yet, but more details are coming. So if you want more support in a community, it's coming soon. So we'll see you there.